All right, today we're learning halacha in the Orechaim Resh Lamed Zayin, a very, very short halacha, mamash a line and a half. It says, Seder Tfilas Arvis, Ubois If Echad. The halacha goes, En Shliach Tzibur Choizer Atfila B'Tfilas Arvis, that's from the Mechaber, that's all for this chapter. And the Ramo brings, En Neuflim Al Pneim, Lachar Arvis. We don't do Nefilas Apayim. So that's the whole halacha in Shulchan Aruch. However, if you look at the tour, he explained that this whole Seder HaAvodah, why we do what we do. For example, how we're starting maariv. In all the nuschoes, we're starting maariv with V'hu Rachum. V'hu Rachum. So he says, Seder Tfilas, I'm reading to the tour now. Omrim V'hu Rachum. And now we have to know why we say V'hu Rachum by maariv. We don't say V'hu Rachum by mincha. Why we say by maariv? V'tiknu loymar Fishe B'shachris. He brings three reasons the tour. The reason number one, Fishe B'shachris u'mincha yesh tmidim shemechabrim. In the morning, and mincha, by shachris and mincha, we in Beis Hamikdash we used to bring korban atomid, and the davening now it corresponds to korban atomid, and korban atomid it offers a kapora for us. So that's the kapora, the davening or the korbanos we used to bring. Aval arvis and tomid lechaper by maariv we don't have korban atomid. It only comes twice a day, for the morning and by mincha. The mele tikkun lama v'hu rachum yichaper oven, meaning that our prayers we're begging for kapora without any korban. That's the reason number one. Reason number two he brings v'yesh omrim v'shenohagu lilkas arvis la'achar shechotu kol hayoyim v'malkas mischaper loim lakach nagu loimar achar malkas v'hu rachum michaperim v'lo yashchis. He says if the time of Beis Din there was malkas that did it at the end of the day, that was the and also after the day we did something wrong, we were like mechuyev malchus to the averos of the day. So he says, and so it's like getting the malchus. And by malchus, when you get malchus, there is a minhag to say v'hu rachum. And he explained the third reason going to explain the second reason. So that's why we say v'hu rachum. It's like it's correspond to Malkus, like we're getting the end of the day Malkus. We're saying to Hashem v'hu rachum, I have a rachmanas and kapora for me for all the averos I committed during the day. The third reason can explain why we say v'hu rachum when we get Malkus. The third reason, why three times v'hu rachum? Ki yesh ba shloshes tevos. V'hu rachum, the pasuk has 313 words. It says Harei l'sholosh pa'omim. Said three times v'hu rachum. Tesha u'shloshim tevos. That's 39 words. Keminyan Malkus. That's why we're saying v'hu rachum. It's specifically like reminding us of the Malkus, because that's what they used to say, and they used to say three times. L'choira from here, l'choira. You could ask then, why do we say once? We should say three times if that's correspond to Malkus. So the Beis Yosef brings another reason, which is that could explain that why we say only once. He says because of a kolboy. He says he brings another reason, the kolboy, and that's like I said, the reason number 4 of the kolboy will explain a little bit also why we say v'hu rachum once by maariv. He brings a medrash Tanchuma. Lo'ilon odom b'Yerushalayim v'yada oven. In Yerushalayim, nobody went to sleep with Averis. Why? Shetamid aboiker mechaper avonos alayla. In the morning, they bring korban atomid. And by the way, it's not like you do Aver, you bring a korban. Korban came accompanied with the tshuva. So with the korban atomid, they did tshuva and plus the korban. And Mimele, that was kapora for Averis alayla. And he says, "V'tomid ha'erev," and they brought korban by mincha mechaper avonos hayom. That's what offered kapora for all the averos of the day. V'lochen tiknu arbis v'shachris l'chalos pnei hamokem shechaper avonos seinu yomam v'laylo. Oh, so it says like this: Shachris on the emrim b'seder kedusha, v'tiknu na psuka de zimra b'shvil. Oh, it says like this. So we're saying v'hu rachum at night. That's a kapora that comes after the malchus. It's what comes the kapora after the malchus. We're saying v'hu rachum, And why we're saying it in the morning? L'chayra, we have korban atomid in the morning. So why we saying, where we say v'urachum in the morning? By Yichvoid Hashem L'olam, before Ashrei, there's a Yichvoid, there's a collection of many psukim. We say over there, one of the psukim v'urachum, it's almost at the end. Why we say v'urachum? We have korban atomid. We say Shachris on the Omer Moisa b'seder kedusha. That's one v'urachum. That the second time we say by seder kedusha after Volat Zion. V'tiknu now psuka the zimra b'shvil leil Shabbos. The reason we're saying it again v'urachum, we're saying it twice in the morning. One by seder kedusha of Volat Zion. And one time we're saying it by Yichvoid, by the Psukkah the Zimra, and that was Niskan B'Shil Leil Shabbos, Shonim Amos of Visha, and if Evore Tomidar Krevim B'Leil Shabbos. So it comes out like this. The kapara of the night was because, not of Korban, there's no Korban Atomid at night, because we burned the limbs of the Korbanos throughout the night. So that was the kapara of the night. Now, Leil Shabbos, there was no burning limbs, because we cannot burn the limbs of Friday and Shabbos, only from Shabbos to Shabbos, not from Yom Chol of Shabbos to the Shabbos. B'meila they said, in the morning they were masakin to say v'urachum in the morning, but were missed at night because we didn't have at night burning the korban, we didn't burn the evorim of korban atomid, and because we did it for Shabbos, we did it for every day. So it comes out what we say every day by Psukkah the Zimra v'urachum. It's because of Shabbos, and Shabbos, the reason we're saying it because we didn't have, we didn't burn korbanos, the limbs of korbanos of Friday and Shabbos. Same thing with Yom Tov. Yeah. Okay. Lakach tiknu loymar v'uracham b'tfilas arvis, mash enken b'shacharis u'mincha. If you should boys the tfilas ayam akribin tmidim v'ayim mechaperim b'tfilas arvis and michaper b'tiknu b'lam v'uracham. Okay. Okay, so according to this, we do say 3 times v'urachim. L'maisa say, you ask why we say once, we do say 3 times v'urachim. We say twice in the morning, one before Ashrei by Yichvoid, once after Kedushas Uvol Tzion, by Kedushas Uvol Tzion we say v'urachim, and one we say by maariv. That makes it Keneged Amalkas. Okay. Now the Prisha brings something. It gives a little bit more specific about the 3 times v'urachim. He says, "V'nira lanius daiti." That's what the Prisha says. Shemishum ochi bochru davke b'posuk v'urachim v'shomru sholosh pa'amim. Why did they say v'urachim and say it 3 times? Mishum dekaimelon in Maseches Makis. So you malkin is a shlish echad milefonav. Somebody time of the Samish Chayav Malkas, time of the Beis Din, they used to give 1/3 of the Malkas, 13, the front part of the body. It says, "V'shnei shlishim el acharav," 2/3, 26 Malkas in the back of the person. So that's exactly what we have. We have maariv. One time, that's Keneged Milefonov, and we have the Shacharis 2 times Keneged Melacharav. It becomes more perfect. Okay, now the Legabe Nefilas Apayim. So the Tur brings over here the Chosav Oid Al Shem Rav Sar Sholom Goen Shemuta Lipov Al Apayim V'Rakesh Rachem Achat Filas Arbis Afilu B'Tzibur. So the Tur brings an opinion that you could say Nefilas Apayim, which is we don't do today. We're going to see why. That you can. They used to be even such a minhag. They used to do Nefilas Apayim maariv. However, it's interesting enough. The Beis Yosef doesn't say anything about it. The Ramah says the Darche Moshe v'aminhag enoken v'chen kosav v'ogur v'yeshpatam al pi Kabbalah. Normally, anything al pi Kabbalah, Beis Yosef would be the first one to bring it. Of it, the Beis Yosef doesn't bring it. The Ramah brings it. Al pi Kabbalah, we don't do Nefilas Apayim by maariv, and that's why the minhag kol olam nobody does Nefilas Apayim by maariv. Now, there's one more nekuda l'gabe maariv. We all know there's no chazaras hashatz by Tfilas maariv. Why there's no chazaras hashatz? So he brings from the Rambam because of a Rambam Matam. If he's eno choiva, maariv, it's not obligation like shacharis umincha. That's why we don't do chazoras hashatz. And he brings the Ves Yosef from the Rashba. He says, "V'chen kosav Rashba b'tshuva." Since it's not a tefillah of choiva of obligation, that's why we don't do kabbalas. We don't do chazoras hashatz. V'chosav oid. V'afilu the Rashba adds over it. Afilu divrei gaonim. The gaonim saying. If a person davened one time in his lifetime, maariv, he made it like already obligation. He converted from nedava, from reshus, to obligation. So if now everybody daven maariv, it becomes an obligation. If it's already obligation, why not do chazaras hashatz? What do chazaras hashatz? We have to daven for those who just couldn't daven. The davening, we're davening for them. Right? That's officially. There's other reasons we brought in the past on this. That also helps the Amsha Basodes. We already brought in the Kotzker Rebbe, Amsha Basodes, meaning it helps the mason that in the Sodes, in the field, and Besachayim. But Al Pi Pshat, that's to help the people don't know how to daven, to do Chazaras Hashatz. Since we daven already Ma'ariv, it's Choiva now, so why don't we do Chazaras Hashatz? So he answers, he says, the whole idea, if you daven once, you mekabel upon yourself choiva if you're boki by davening. That's why you're davening. He says, Masha'engen, if you are boki, the chazal doesn't help you. It helps only somebody who doesn't know how to daven. The person doesn't know how to daven. He never took it upon himself as a choiva. That's why. So we don't say chazal hashatz. Those which is bekim, they davened already, and the non-bekim never daven. That's why they don't have to daven. That's according to the Rashba. The Bach brings another reason. The Bach says, since already we already davened, it became choiva. He says, the original takona, that there's no chazaras hashatz from maariv, it stands over there, and that's why there is no chazaras hashatz by maariv. The Machzor Shekel brings that the different minogim, some V'urachim was said, everybody saying V'urachim for kapora of the night. The Machzor Shekel brings also the says the nogim miktsas mekoymes loymar arbes mizmor shir hamalos in the borchu as Hashem kolav da Hashem. Many Hasidim saying, if I'm not mistaken, the Sfardim and Hasidim saying this. He says it's based on what the says in Gemara Brochus imoyo. In the beginning of brachas, a person comes to shul if he was accustomed to read, he would read. Or a gilishnas shone, we did mishnayos if he accustomed to it. We also we're doing it before Ma'ariv, Apostle Shira Ma'alois in the Baruch Hashem called Avda Hashem, that before Ma'ariv we should say some divrei Torah. I'm going to Messiah with the Kaf HaChaim. It's a beautiful thing that brings over here Kaf HaChaim, B'Shem HaZoya, L'Gabei, the Tfilas. We're doing big tikkunim when davening, and he says, it's like this, when Elisha was passing by the Shunamis, in the Ir Shunem, it says the Shunamis told her husband, let's build this Ish Kodesh over Aleinu, it's a holy man passing in our city, and let's build for him a room. When Nosim Lo Shom, they said we're going to put over there Mito, Shulchan, Kisa, Menorah. It's 4 things. And the Zohar alone, that's 4 things, was Tikkunim of Tefillah. Mito, he says, the bed, it's correspond to Ma'ariv. That's the Mito, Tefillah's Ma'ariv. So when we're davening Ma'ariv, we're doing a Tikkunim, what it says over there, Nosim Lo Shom Mito. That's because at night we will go to sleep on the bed. But then he says, in the morning, when we're davening, so the psuke, the zimra, that would be the shulchan, standing by the table. You have shulchan aruch with a lot of food ready on the table to eat. There's a spiritual table which preparing to Hashem with all the shirs with tishboches, all the options of different praises to Hashem. That's the tikkun of shulchan. And then there's a kiseh that corresponds to the tefillah of Yetzer Oil. And b'chinas kiseh, that's why al pi mekubalim the kedushas of Yotzer Davka have to be Miyosha V'chinas Kisa. It's Olam. It's a yeshiva. That's also it's Olam HaKisa over there. It's an Olam HaBriya. That's what the Kisa covered over there. And that's the when we do the tikkunim of Kisa. On the Menorah, he says that's Tfilah Shmonesa. And in the morning, when we stand up, still and quiet, coming Lefnei HaMelech, that's the real the light of the neshama. It's already Meir Begiluv. The mama standing in front. So anyway, so by all the davening, we're doing big tikkunim. And then he says like this, he bring from the Pri Etz Chaim, from Reb Chaim Vital. Ukvi ma shechaven odom b'tfilosa b'shachris, yelo siyu v'ezer kol hayoim. The way you mechaven by tfilah shachris, that you're going to have a siyada d'shmaya for the whole day. Ukvi ma shechaven b'arvis, the way you mechaven by davening arvis. Yeah, some people are tired, exhausted, but if you try to daven with kavana arvis, hi aliyosa b'layla l'mayla. How you stand up, how you go up, how the neshama going to go up, it depends how you daven. And there's a known from the Sfas Emes, we're saying every day by the Mishnah, the Beraisa, Elu Dvorim She'en Lahem Shiur, we say by the Beraisa over there, Vashkomas Besamedrash, Shachris Ve'arvis. Yeah? That's one of the things, Elu Dvorim She'en Lahem Shiur, then it says, we could benefit from the dividends of the year. You still have the principal capital. One of them is Ashkamas Besamedr Shachris V'Arbis, going to the Besamedr morning and night. But he asked a question over here, a digdu question. Why it says Hashkama? Hashkama, it's getting up early. By Shachris, you could say getting up early. At night, you cannot say getting up early. At night, you don't get up. Why it says Ashkamas Besamedr Shachris V'Arbis? Arbis is not Ashkama. So he says the ashkama of Arvis, it's called ashkama. Why? How you going to get up early in the morning? It depends how you go to sleep. You go to sleep earlier for the sake of davening tomorrow on time and davening b'chavon. You're going to have koyach. It's called also ashkama because you're going to sleep for the sake of ashkama. So in the whole how the day going to be tomorrow, it depends how you went to sleep. So if you daven maariv properly, it's a krishma shalamita properly, then the whole day is a better day tomorrow, and it has to do with the hashkama. It started already from the night.